Okay, so today I'm going to talk about creating of subjects, assigning of subjects to class, and whitelisting of subjects. So, okay, so under academics, one can go to the subject section, and there are already some subjects on the system. One can decide to add, create a subject. So let me say I'm creating a subject of chemistry and browse an image. Maybe replace this one that is shown here. Then there is this field marks first CA score, second CA score and exam score, the maximum. So what this means is that the system assumes that um for every term the school will have two continuous assessment and one exam, which is consis ten t for a lot of schools. There are few schools that have more than two continuous assessments. So let me assume that the mark for the first assessment is 15, one for the second is 15, and the exam score is 70 maximum. So making it a total of 100. So although if the school just have one CA, they can use just one and ignore the other one. Then the exam result rule set. There is one exam result rule set here which is default. So let me go and explain what exam result rule set means and come back. Under exams and record, I have result rule. So this is what we have here. So what this means is if you can see, there are exam result rule, and then so exam result rule set, that is all the exam result rule in the system. And this one, the first one here is default, and then there's exam result rule of default. So this exam result rule of rule set of default, these are the rules under it. So it tells you the range of mark for the grade that will be given. So 0 to 32 is F, 33 to 40 is D, 40 to 49 is C, and the rest of that. So for most schools, this is all that will be needed. Although we found out that in some schools, they rate some subjects higher. So for example, they might say they want their core subject like mathematics, physics to not be over 100, because they don't want it to have the same weight with other smaller, less relevant subject. They might want to make the mathematics over 200. So let me create an exam result and I'll call it core subject. It's created, and down below exam result row of core subject, one exam result row is created for it. So I can edit it. I can say okay, A will be 180 to 200, stuffs like that, and maybe B will be B will be 150 or 140 to 180, something like that. So when creating the subject, I will now choose which of the exam result rule I want it to be under. So and the maximum score in that exam, the maximum score, like for default now, the maximum score there was 100. The maximum score will be 200 in this scenario. So I will just delete this now. Most schools won't be needing this feature. I'll go back to creating of subjects and let me continue. So chemistry, and let's say 15, 15, 70, and then default. Let me save this subject. Okay, something okay. Most of the times when you see error like this, it's just a matter of refreshing the page. So let me create it again. Okay. Let me go back to exam results. Hmm. To be fair, everything is good here. So the subjects. Okay. Um, and chemistry has been created. So the mathematics here will apply to all the maths from GS1 to SS3. Same thing for physics, same thing for English and chemistry. So let's go to a sample class. Let me create a class. Let me call the class SS1. Then class, let me see the class numeric will be 13. Let me give it a arm of A, B, and C. So I'll save that. Now in this class, let me also create some students and put them in that class. Or rather, let me edit these ones, these students here, and change their class to SS1A. Save that. Let me edit the second student. Let me change his class or her class to SS1A. Alright. So if I go back to that class, I can add subjects to this class. So for instance, I can decide to add subjects, and I can do that in two ways. I can add to the arm individually, or I can add to all the arms, that is all sections. Say for example, I want to add mass to all of the section. I will just select all section, then here I'll select mass, I'll add it, and I'll save. Once I save, that subject have been added to arm A, arm B, and arm C. And I can see it here. If I click on all sections, I see that mass have been added. If I click on A, I see that mass have been added. Same thing for B, same thing for C. So let me go back to all sections. Let me add another subject. Let's say let me add English. I'll add the subject. I'll save it. English has now been added for all subjects. Alright. So let's say okay, let me create another subject. Let me call the subject geography. Geography. Let's say 15. Subject geography. And the reason I'm using geography is okay. Now for this class, we can decide also to add all the subjects I've been adding to all the sections. I can decide to add to just section A. Let's assume section A is a science class and the rest are art classes. I can decide to add, let's say, chemistry to A. I'll add it and then save. And then what we see if we try to edit the class is that yes, all the sections, chemistry will show up. Then A, chemistry will also show up. But if I go to B, chemistry will not show up. If I go to C, chemistry will not show up. So let's say in this A now, I want to add geography to just A, to just section A. I'll add the subject, then I'll save. So if I go to confirm what I've done, I'll see that for A, geography has been added, although it has not been added for others. So, but let's assume there are some students in that class that are not offering geography. So let's say geography is an elective course, but I've added that subject for geography. And you can see something if I go to the student page, see that all the subject that that student is offering is there because it's the member of this class, is in SS1A. So all those subjects I've added to SS1A, they will be here for the student as the subject being offered by the student. The same thing for this other student. If I go here, you see that all the subjects here are also being added. So let's assume Mr. Freddy or Kife is not offering geography. I can just come here and blacklist, this is called the blacklisting feature, and I will remove geography for just this student and click save. Why? Because the rest of the class is offering it, but he personally is not offering it. So if I come back, I'll see that this person is not offering geography. If he wants to offer it back, I can check it and save it, and he will start offering the subject back again. So where does that reflect? Let me try to, if I want to mark subject, let me try to, if I want to impute results. Okay. If I select first term, select the class SS1, select the section, let's say section A. Now if I select geography, the two students will show up. But now let me go and remove geography for one of them. This is where you impute mark, you input the CA and the exam score. We'll come back to that later. So let me go to this one for example, and let me remove geography for him and save. I come back here and try to change, see that only this student is available. The other student, I cannot impute mark for him because he's no longer offering geography. Then lastly, those subjects can be assigned to teachers. So if I go to the teachers users profile, if I go to the teachers, let me open a teacher profile in another tab. Open a teacher profile. If I go to the teacher, this is a list of teacher, just one. Um, oh sorry, I logged in with admin instead of teacher. And decide to assign a subject to this teacher. I've talked about assigning class from teacher. That is not done yet, it's done on the class section. But if I want to assign a subject to this teacher, this is the place to do it. So I can come here, and decide to assign. If you look now, you see my assigned subject, there is nothing there. So I can decide to assign, let's say, um, geography and in for SS1A. So why this is like this? Because some schools they have different teachers taking different arms. So if I want another teacher to take SS1B, that same geography, I can do that. If I want the teacher to take all the arm, I can also do that. I will just add the subject. And okay, let me remove it first. Let me remove it first. Let me check. This is where it comes to play. The teacher that is taking that subject for a particular class can impute results for that class, for that subject. So for example, SS1 for SS1A. Right now it will give me an error, say you have not been assigned any subject in this class. But if I do assign SS1A to this teacher for the subject geography, if the teacher comes back here, you'll be able to see that okay, geography has been added. He can now impute scores for geography because he is the official subject teacher for this subject and for this class. So the same thing I can decide to assign let me say I assign chemistry for this teacher. See now that if I come to SS1A, he not only have access to geography, he also has access to chemistry. So that is it for subject teacher and creating of subject, assigning the subject to class, blacklisting of subject for student that don offer it, and assigning of subject to the teacher that will teach them. So that's it for now.